Hi everybody. Today I want to teach you what I think is really the only breathing technique anyone needs for anxiety. And the reason that people talk about monitoring your breathing with anxiety is because when we get really anxious, we breathe quite quickly, usually from our upper chest, and we almost pant and go That's really common. And that means that we take in more oxygen than we breathe out carbon dioxide. And so we mess up the gas exchange in our body and we start to feel dizzy and lightheaded, get a headache and feel very unwell. And that's when we hyperventilate. So it's really important when we feel anxious to slow down the breathing. And by slowing down the breathing, we also slow down the heart rate, which brings down anxiety physiologically. But when people tell you to take a deep breath, actually what they're doing is they're telling you to breathe in. And what we need to do when we're really anxious is breathe out. That is how we slow down our breathing. So the breathing technique I'm about to teach you, you need to remember one thing for, and that is that you need to set a pulse. And you can click with your fingers, you can tap with your feet, or you can do what I'm about to do and use a metronome. My metronome is set on, I think, 64 beats. My metronome is set, you can probably see it back to front at 64, and I will show you how to do it in a minute. But very briefly, what you do is you breathe in for a number of clicks and you breathe out for double that number of clicks. So for example, if you're super anxious, you start by breathing in for 1 click and out for 2 clicks. When that becomes easy, you breathe in for 2 clicks and out for 4 clicks. When that becomes easy, you breathe in for 3 clicks, then 6 clicks. When it's easy, 4 clicks, then 8 clicks. If you can get to breathing in for 5 and out for 10, fantastic. And if you can get to breathing in for 6 and out for 12, I'd be amazed if you're still anxious, because actually at the tempo I've set, that's really, really hard. The key is particularly at the shorter number of click end for the in-breath, so 1 and 2 and 3, make sure that when you breathe out, you empty your diaphragm and your stomach so that you've fully emptied and you need to breathe in. I don't want you holding on to any extra breath. So without further ado, we're going to get going and I'm going to show you how to do it. So I set my tempo, 64, and I'm going to breathe in for 1 and out for 2 to start. So now in for 2 and out for 4. That's really easy for me right now, so I'm going to breathe in for 3 and out for 6. That required a bit more concentration, but I'm now going to show you in for 4 and out for 8. So I got to 5 and 10 then. I'm going to try 6 and 12, but actually the in on 6 and 12, I'm going to have to go really slowly on my in-breath, but I'll give it a go. So I'm just going to empty. Right, that is the exercise. That is the breathing technique for anxiety that is by far the best. Now, the reason it is so good is for 3 different reasons. One, By breathing out for double the amount of time that you breathe in for, you have to empty, and then you right automatically the gas exchange in your body, and you immediately start to feel less dizzy and less headachy and better. 2, you have to concentrate. It's really hard to count all those clicks, which means you can't be focusing on the thoughts that make you super anxious if you're clicking. And 3, changing every time you find the clicks that you're on easy means that you can't slip into a rhythm. And that means that you can't slip back into the anxious thoughts if you're doing the breathing exercise really easily, because every time you change, you have to concentrate a bit harder again. And every time it becomes easy, you have to change. So you keep those anxious thoughts at bay while you're still working to bring down your heart rate, to get the gases right in your body and to calm down the adrenaline. And also, it is really, really helpful at actually calming down the adrenal system, which is what happens when we get anxious and you get too much adrenaline, too much cortisol. This, along with bringing down the heart rate, brings down the amount of adrenaline running around your body. So, and it stops you hyperventilating. So it is really by far the best breathing technique that is out there. If you've got any questions, let me know. Practice it before you have to use it for real. A lot of people I work with tell me it really helps them to go to sleep because it just calms everything down and slows everything down. If you know anyone who'd find this useful, please share it. It is genuinely the very, very best breathing technique that I have ever found to help with anxiety and panic. So looking forward to hearing from you. Bye.